Hey, I'm Tyler Carson. I'm doing a speech 2 for Communications 101. These are my note cards, as well as some on the back. Cool. So, whether you live in Las Vegas or you're merely passing through on vacation, the thundering boom of jets over the Las Vegas skies is an unmistakable reminder of the military base present in the area. I'm talking about Nellis Air Force Base. I'm currently stationed in Nellis. Today I'm going to shed some light on an area of our community that many of you may not know about or have never had a chance to visit for yourselves. Because of its historic roots, its prominent mission today, and the community involvement it has, Nellis is an iconic location and military presence in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'll begin by giving you a little bit of the backstory of the base. Nellis started out as a commercial airfield. It was later purchased by the Army and then transitioned to an Air Force base later in its life cycle. The history of the airfield can be traced all the way back to the late 1920s. Before there was any military involvement, it was a simple stopping point for flights between California and Utah. Around the 1940s, it caught the Army's eye because of the ideal conditions for flying year-round, as well as the desert nearby that was ideal for gunnery practice. The Army then leased this area from the city of Las Vegas for $10 in the mid-1940s. Now, while the Army was here, it was simply known as the Las Vegas Army Airfield. It was at this time that they would begin training in earnest their bomber pilots and the gunners who accompanied those because of the upcoming World War II and the critical missions they played in that. There was also a pilot movie filmed at Nellis at the time, known as Las Vegas Army Airfield, that co-starred Ronald Reagan in an attempt to encourage people to join the military and volunteer as pilots because pilots were a volunteer-only force at that time. Jay Carter, a writer for the Nellis Public Affairs Office, states in an online history article that in 1950, the Las Vegas Army Airfield was officially renamed Nellis Air Force Base in honor of Lieutenant William Nellis, who was a pilot that was shot down while flying at the Battle of the Bulge. Now they will begin training in earnest for the Korean War after the transition to an Air Force base. But once the Korean War began to settle down, they would start to build more pilot training facilities and eventually build the base up to what it is today. So now that you have a little bit of the background story, I want to tell you about Nellis' current day operation and what happens. So Nellis falls under the umbrella of the Air Combat Command, and it's a unique base in that it is a host to 2 wings versus a typical 1 wing per base, and a wing is a base-sized organization. It's going to be the 99th and the 57th. The 99th wing is the host wing for Nellis Air Force Base, and all that means is they're responsible for upkeeping the base itself and the infrastructure, as well as providing the other base agency support through the medical group and medical services. But arguably their most important aspect of the 99th Wing is the upkeep and management of the Nevada Test and Training Range, which is a pristine patch of desert for military use only, and it's where the majority of the pilot training takes place. The 57th Wing is the most recognizable because of the majority of aircraft that it holds, as well as the major exercises that take place. They oversee the training for multiple aircraft, such as helicopters, the 5th generation stealth fighters, the 4th generation aircrafts, and the A-10s, which are pretty popular. They also hold the majority of exercises that we call red and green flag, and those are multi-branch and multinational. It's around the times that the exercises take place that the base actually gets the most noise complaints because of the sheer volume of aircraft that are flying around the area at those times. There's an education center located in Nellis known as the Fighter Weapons School. Peter Beauchamp, who's a photorecon.net journalist, states in a 2016 article that almost all aircraft in the United States Air Force inventory are taught almost every aspect of air warfare. The end result of the Fighter Weapons School course is a group of pilots who are able to completely dominate the combat airspaces of any of our adversaries in any present day or future conflict. So the daily operations of Nellis are imperative to the overall Air Force mission. However, the community involvement in the off-duty hours are also commendable. Nellis interacts with the community in a variety of ways, but today I'm going to talk to you about a few of those. The Aviation Nation is a 3-day air show event that happens annually on the Nellis flight line. It's a great chance to show off the 5th generation stealth fighters, and it gives the public a chance to see what their tax dollars are going towards. It's also a great chance to educate the community about air power and inspire the next generation of airmen to join the Air Force to replace those who currently serve. The famous Thunderbirds are also located at Nellis Air Force Base. They're a group of experienced F-16 pilots who commonly fly over sporting and military events after the national anthem has been played. Senior Master Sergeant Timothy Shane states in a recent interview as the head of the Nellis Combat Shield Team that the Thunderbirds are a key component in inspiring and motivating men and women to join the military, much like Top Gun did in its day. Nellis also has a program for feeding the homeless. Staff writer Sandy Lopez for the Las Vegas Journal-Review states in a 2013 article that it all began when a military member decided to join his wife on a volunteer venture to feed the homeless, and he decided he wanted to get the military involved with that as well. They regularly hand out blankets, food, and water to the homeless of Las Vegas. And there's a program in place that allows the different units on base to rotate so that everyone gets a chance to help out in the effort to help the Las Vegas community. So today I've talked with you about the history of Nellis Air Force Base. I've shared with you some of the day-to-day ops, and I've also talked to you about some of the community involvement. Hopefully you have a better understanding of where those jets in the skies come from and what it is that we do at Nellis Air Force Base. It's easy to forget about the base amidst the hustle and bustle of city life. It's there nonetheless, working day and night to keep our country safe. Thank you for listening.